in a pub in Ireland in the 1950s in a small country village. A murder has been committed in the village. Everybody knows who did the murder, but nobody will come forward to give any evidence. The guards have no luck. The local priest has preached about it, so they sent for the heavy hitter. They sent for the bishop. And back in those days, people took notice of bishops. I know it's all changed now, but the bishop had the power of life and death, of excommunication, of whether you went to heaven or went to hell. He was a very, very powerful person. Dave O'Sullivan has just come from winning the All-Ireland Drama Festival in Athlone with his group from Prosperous. He was here with us for 2 years, and he's specially down for Writers' Week, and he's going to play the part of the scene where the bishop comes to the community and he speaks to them from the pulpit. Now I want absolute silence for this because it needs maximum concentration. So folks, put your hands together for David O'Sullivan.
Do not be afraid of those who can kill the body but cannot kill the soul, but rather be afraid of him who can destroy both body and soul in hell. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. My dear beloved brethren, these are the words of Christ himself. He was speaking about truth. How many of you here, like Peter, would stand up and say, I know not the man? But you can lie without saying a word. You can lie without opening your lips. You can lie by silence. 5 weeks ago, in this parish, a man was murdered. He was brutally beaten to death. And for 5 weeks, the police have investigated, and not one single person has come forward to assist them. Everywhere they turned, they have been met by silence. A silence of the most frightful and diabolical kind. The silence of the lie. In God's name, I beg you, I implore you, if any of you knows anything, to come forward and speak the truth without fear. This is a parish in which you understand hunger, but there are many kinds of hunger. There's the hunger for food, a natural hunger. There's the hunger of the flesh, a natural and understandable hunger. There's the hunger for home, for love, for children. These things are good. They are good because they are necessary. But there is also a hunger for land. And this is increasing. This unappeasable hunger for land. Now you and your fathers before you know what it was like to starve because you didn't own your own land. But how far are you prepared to go to satisfy this hunger? Are you prepared to go to the point of robbery? Are you prepared to go to the point of murder? Are you prepared to kill for land? Was this man killed for land? Did he give his life's blood for a field? Well, if so, it will be a field of blood, and it will be paid for. In 30 pieces of silver, the price of Christ's betrayal, and you, through your silence, will share in that betrayal. Among you, there is a murderer. You may even know his name. You may even have seen him commit this terrible crime, but you, through your silence, will share in his guilt. And your innocent children will grow up under the shadow of this terrible crime, and you will carry this guilt with you until you meet your Maker at the moment of judgment. If you're afraid to go to the police, come to your priest. Come to me. But if there is one man among you, one man who is made in the likeness of Christ, who will stand up and say, there he is. There is the murderer. Well, that man will have acknowledged Christ before God. And Christ will acknowledge him before his Father in heaven. But if you, through your silence, deny Christ before men, he will disown you before his Father in heaven, and I, as his representative, will have a solemn duty to perform. place this parish under interdict, and then there will be a silence more dreadful than the first. The church bell will be silent. The mass bell will not be heard. The voice of the confessional will be stilled, and you, in your last moment, will face the most dreadful silence of all. For you will go to meet your Maker without the last sacrament on your lips, and all because of your silence now. In God's name, I beg you to speak before it's too late. I am the way, says the Lord, and the truth. Do not be afraid of those who can kill the body but cannot kill the soul, but rather be afraid of him who can destroy both body and soul in hell. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
This is our very good friend, Saint Dave. We call him Saint Dave around here because he came into the bar at a time when everybody was slightly off their head, including myself, so we call him Saint Dave. But he showed another side there. What an incredible performance, written upstairs in this very house. And I think when my dad wrote that scene, he definitely had Dave in his mind. Thanks, Dave. We'll take a little break for